So I just spent the last 3 hours trying to make money online, taking surveys on a platform called Survey Junkie. And in this video, we're going to find out if it's worth it. Now, if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike, and all I do here is I help you make money in different side hustles. But why now and why Survey Junkie? So here's the thing. Here on YouTube, I can see what audience members, viewers like you are searching for on the platform. And Survey Junkie has a very high search volume. But that's not all. Just here on YouTube, let's go a little bit more macro. On Google Trends, actually, searching across all of Google here in the US, the search term Survey Junkie has never been more popular. So as a side hustle, can you make legit money taking these surveys on Survey Junkie? And I just picked Survey Junkie. I've basically done them all, but this is one of the biggest platforms. That's why we're doing this here today. Can I make, I'd say what, $15 an hour? That's at least fair. That's like a bare bones minimum. $20 ideally, $25 is our channel goal for any side hustle. So let's get into it with a few rules. The only rules that I'm really worried about is making sure I take a solid 3 hours of just surveys. And of course, not rushing, not just giving blank filler answers. They gotta be honest answers. So first, let's set up our general profile. We can see me going over the setup survey, basically setting up my profile. Now, answer this truthfully, because in the research I've done on Survey Junkie, part of the survey experience is going to be based on your exact profile. So make sure, again, fill this out honestly here. So filling out some more information here, earnings, demographic, age, sex, all of that, education level, and you're going to see these questions repeated quite a bit over your survey experience here. So let's finish setting up our general profile, and then we'll get 10 points for completing that. So how Survey Junkie works is we complete surveys for points, and then once we accumulate enough points, then we can redeem for rewards, gift cards, etc. Okay, done. So here's our home screen after setting up that profile, and here's the points. And it's really important to know, to listen to this, is that points for the time invested. So let's take a look here. 60 points, 12 minutes, 365 points. That's a lot for 15 minutes, and so on and so on. Now, again, doing my research here, you'll see the colored shapes, diamonds, whatever. So looking at those green kind of aqua diamonds, those are more easier to qualify for. And if you have the amber, the orange, or the red diamonds, that will be more difficult to qualify for. And that's most likely why that one is giving a lot of points for the 28 minutes. So in those circumstances, that researcher, group, company, whatever, is most likely looking for a very specific demographic. So you'll fill out, again, more of those demographic, earnings, industry, your work, sex, age, all of that in kind of the qualifier for these surveys. And that's why, again, those red, the amber, it's going to be more difficult because they're looking for a certain demographic of a respondent. And then this next part was pretty accurate after doing my 3 hours of surveys. So Survey Junkie says on average you'll qualify for 1 out of 5 surveys. And again, just from my initial experience here, if you're doing more of those green, the aqua surveys, the ones that are easier to qualify for, you might do a little bit better versus if you're trying to take some of those harder to qualify for surveys, but 1 or maybe 2 out of 5 surveys you'll qualify for. All right, and with that, setting up our profile, the preferences, acknowledging everything, etc., let's start qualifying and taking some surveys. Over and over again, you're going to be asked how old you are, what's your sex, maybe your sexual identity, your orientation, where do you live, your state, your city, your education level, the highest one you've obtained, your annual gross earnings for your household. Does anyone under 18 or 16 children live with you? How many other people live with you? These questions will be repeated. What industry, what level of C-suites or executive, professional, whatever, are you in that industry? Does your industry? Yes. There's a lot of repeated questions over and over. Doesn't matter which kind of level of survey that you take. So let's give you an example of a survey that I don't qualify for. So if you're going through some of these questions like, hey, what industry are you in? If you say none of the above, or if you select something that the researcher isn't looking for, you'll get this. It says, uh-oh, you didn't qualify for this survey. No worries. Just for trying, we're giving you 3 points in this case. So here's an example of kind of the starter questions, I guess the qualifier questions of one of these surveys. When were you born? How would you describe yourself? So you do have to type something in there. What year were you born? Have you purchased any of these products? Select a non-living object. Let's talk about that. So I'm sorry, you can't always, you can do it sometimes, but you can't always just select any old answer just to zip through this, not even paying attention, because there will be verification questions, AKA, are you still paying attention? So this one, it says, select a non-living object. You got to pay attention. It says rock, etc., etc. And then look, the last qualifying, it's the same thing. Are you paying attention? Select walk from the following list. Here's another one. It says it's important that you pay attention. Please choose never here. I had another one that said, please get this, listen to the following sound and tell us which animal this is. I had another one that said, please select your favorite picture or image, and then ask me a question. And then the next question was reselect that favorite image. I had one that said, please choose the following that's not a primary color. So yeah, I mean, for some of these, you can kind of zip through. Obviously, we want to go as fast as possible, but if you're not giving honest answers, and get this, if you are going too fast, these algorithms might pick up on that. For instance, I got this after doing a survey. It said, sorry, you may have been disqualified for breaking one of these rules. Answer honestly, be consistent, and take your time. I mean, I'm answering honestly, and it says be consistent. So think of this. Again, I told you, you're going to have a lot of those qualifying questions. So you have to make sure, I mean, you should be doing this anyway, but the same age, the same income range, the same basics, because they're going to ask you again, those basic qualifying questions. So that I can see. If that's not consistent, you could be disqualified from a survey. It's a huge waste of time. Don't do that. I'm guessing mine was take your time, because I'm doing the first two. I'm trying to answer consistently and honestly, but I want to obviously take these as fast as possible to move on to the next one and get the points. But some food for thought there. Got disqualified. All right, but taking some surveys, actually earning some points here. And again, it kind of varies based on the homepage. This one is complete. Here's another one that's complete, and another, and another. Now, remember, again, on the homepage, it's going to tell us how long it's going to take, approximately, and then how many points you're going to get. But I had a good amount, certainly, as we saw at the beginning of our qualification of denied, didn't qualify, didn't qualify, didn't qualify, didn't qualify. And then, of course, as mentioned, peppered in there, those validation questions. How about this one?
A boy had 5 marbles and lost 3. How many marbles does he have now?
And it's so funny. Like, you don't want to miss out on the points that a simple math problem from grade school. I'm like, okay, how many does he have? But pretty easy. It's just, again, random validation questions. So we're taking some more surveys, and I'm going to show you the ending number here in just a second. Let me talk to you about how this experience was. Listen, I've done most every single app and niche in this gig economy since 2015. Thousands of trips and transactions. I've said before, I am not a fan of these survey platforms. And again, I've done most all of them. Eureka, Inbox Dollars, this, Survey Junkie, Swagbucks, Google Opinions. There's a few that I do like User Testing and Respondent. But it doesn't matter. I mean, surveys are, I will pretty clearly say, the most boring, monotonous, not mean a side hustle that you can do. I mean, it is so boring taking these surveys, asking, hey, how closely do you relate to the following brands? How do you feel the following statements most closely relate to your feelings about said brands? Rank these brands 1 to 4 based on your favorability. It's survey stuff, right? It's a very, very dry. So let's take a few more surveys here and let me show you the final numbers. The number that matters to actually redeem for like money, for anything, for a bank transfer, a gift card, whatever, it's 500 points. So here we go. I hit 550 points. So let's click on redeem now. And just so you know, 500 points is $5. So $5 is a minimum amount you can do. And we can see here, okay, redeem for what? A Visa gift card. We can redeem for an e-gift card. We can redeem to a PayPal account. We can have the bank transfer. Again, minimum of $5. But that's not what I ended with. Comment down below. Place your guesses right now. I already showed you I did a minimum of 500 plus points. Comment down below. 3 hours of surveys grinding away, taking qualifiers, not qualifying for some, qualifying for others, trying to go for some amber surveys, some blue and green surveys. How much do you think I ended with? Okay, here we go. After being camped out on my phone for 3 hours taking surveys on Survey Junkie, I ended with 603 points, or $6.03. This after completing 32 prompts as shown here. So not only your standard one-off surveys, but something they call a survey medley. So a kind of group of surveys, points from not qualifying for surveys, points from setting up my profile and preferences, etc. All of that over 3 hours for $6. I'm telling you, after doing this stuff before, after doing it today as a refresh in 2022, again, most every single survey platform, especially the ones where you got to get these points and redeem it for gift cards, it is by and large not worth it in my opinion. Comment down below if you agree, if you've done it, if you're considering doing it. I mean, especially if you think it is worth it, we'd love to hear that down below. But yeah, if you're looking for a side hustle, Survey Junkie, in my opinion, is not worth it, at least after doing this one mini shift, I guess we'll call it. Let me know if you agree. If you got value in this video and me doing this for 3 hours, so most likely you don't have to, can you drop a like on this video? It does help out the video and the channel. And you can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.